Hello and welcome to my channel. I am ACrackedTeaCup and today I hope to show you how to properly import a 3D model into Clip Studio. I personally use Blender for the first step of what I'm doing, or technically second step of what I'm doing, but you can use different programs as long as you can do what I'm going to show you here. The third step is the most important one. So, first, I'm going to go into QBrush, which is a site I like to go to buy my models. There are free models you can get places, but so far I have not had any issues with QBrush models, so those are ones I choose to use. So buy the model you want and download it, and then go into the file where you downloaded it, copy that link there, and extract your files because they always come zipped if you go through QBrush. And once you do that, you'll see that we have this guy, which is an OBJ. You can use OBJs, FBXs, or another one, I think it's like DAE or something. But you go into Blender, and when you first load in, it'll look something like this. At that point, you're going to go to Import, and yes, leave your cube there. I'm going to import a OBJ. Oh, by the way, that's the other one that has worked just fine. Import OBJ, and when you do, you're going to get this box here. I put the link in here, and I went ahead and went to it. So here's the one I just downloaded and opened. Double click, and boom. Now, he is huge right now, but don't worry, that is perfectly fine, it's good. What you want to do here is you can zoom out and make sure he looks good, but I'm just going to keep zoomed in because it works better for me. I'm going to go to Scale, which is right over here. Take this white circle, and I'm going to scale him down. Now if you go too far, he turns upside down. So I'm going to scale him down, release, zoom in a little bit more, and then I'm going to scale him more where he is just a little bit taller than the cube. Hence why we kept our cube. Alright, so by the way, this is to look around. This here, you can click it for zooming in and out, but I'm just using the middle button of my mouse. And then, but you don't have to worry about any of that unless you're sculpting and whatnot, which that's not what I'm showing how to do today. This is just for importing. So now that you have him a little bit taller than your cube, click the cube and delete it. Don't stress too much on size right now. I have something I'll show you later for making sure he's a good size in Clip Studio. So at this point, you're going to click him, go to this wrench right here, and go to Add Modifier. This is very important. You want to make sure you click this. Why this is important is depending on your computer, there's a lot of models that Clip just can't handle. So if you look down here at the very bottom, I'm in Blender like 2.8 or something. Down here you're going to see he's at 48,000 vertices and he has 97,000 faces. I don't honestly know what all that means. I am a complete noob and I'm not actually worried about what it means right now, because I have figured out how to do what I need to do, and that was what was important to me, and hopefully this will help you too. So there's a lot of amazing people. You can watch their videos on what all that means. It will be very educational and better than what I can show. But for what you need to know here, this will get you to where you need to be, hopefully. So go into the ratio and make it 0. And I apologize if you can hear my puppy. It's a rainy day and he is very unhappy with being cooped up. So 0. And then you have to play around with this area. So maybe do 0.8 and enter. I'm sorry, 0.5. Now if you notice when you push 0.5, he hasn't changed at all in how you see him. And down here, it's taking him down to 24,000 and 48,000. So the numbers are lower, but he hasn't changed at all. But say you do need him smaller, just go back in and change it again. I'm going to push 0.2. By the way, 30,000, he should be fine at that number, so you can honestly save there. But what I want to show you is we just got him down to 9,000 and 19,000. But when you zoom in, he has some little like clay sculpting marks. So the lower you take him, I'm sorry, it's doing that thing where it's hard to zoom in and out, but the lower you take him, the more rough he will get. So I'm going to leave him at this roughness because for doing art, this is fine. He's not a video game model for me, he's an art model. So I don't mind some low clay marks. Alright, so now you'll hit apply. Once you hit apply, these numbers become official. So at that, you'll go to File, you'll go to Export, and you want to export him as a FBX. Now, when you do that, go ahead and put him in whatever file you want. The screen looks like this. I'm going to go to Path Mode and click Copy. I do that because it's what someone else taught me to do, so I'm going to continue to do that, even though I don't think you need to with this particular model. It's more so if he has textures, they go with him. But anyway, out of habit, I'm going to hit Copy, and I'm going to hit Export, and I'm going to put him in the same file I got him from, or folder, same folder. I'm sorry, this is my second video, I'm nervous. If you find this helpful, please hit the like button because that feeds my soul. So yes, at this point you are done with Blender, so you can close it down if you want to. And we're going to go into the most important step, Mixamo. And you do want to make him small like we did a moment ago to make him work better in Mixamo. So here you're going to go back into your folder, and I forgot to name them whatever you want, but this right here is him. You're going to click him and release him into here. And see how fast it's loading? It's because we did the thing where we made his numbers lower, where we took him down to 9,000. It's going to make him load a whole lot faster. And here we go. So here he is. We're going to hit next. Now this, you want to drag it over his chin, at his elbows, and sometimes you'll have to play around with this a bit to get it perfect. I'm sorry, that was his wrist. That goes right with the end of the thumb. These are elbows. So you're going to need to play with it some to get it just perfect. And if he is not symmetrical, say you have a character that has one arm that's 3 feet long and one that's 5 feet long, like a monster, you're going to turn off your symmetry button down here and you'll do them each individually. Now this one here, the groin, is the most important one for two-legged characters because depending on where you put this is how he's going to move his legs. And then here, this, you can change it depending on if he has like mitten hands where you only need 2 points of movement basically, but I'm keeping it standard because I have 5 fingers. So go hit next. This will take a couple of minutes. Sometimes more, sometimes less. I don't really know how to edit videos, so once I learn how, I'll go in and cut out the loading period here. But hopefully he will do it a lot faster. There we go. So that did not take 2 minutes, maybe 30 seconds. And the groin looks really weird in this one because I probably put it in a too high of an area. Should have had it lower. But here you can rotate him. And you can see his movements. And if you like what you're seeing, just hit next. And then next. And here, this is what you're going to want to download, so I'm going to go ahead and hit download because we can't really do a lot with anything other than this one for Clip Studio. But this is the important part. On the format, the FBX, you do want an FBX, yes, but you want FBX 6. That is the most important part of this whole thing I'm showing you. So hit download. And he's downloaded. Or he's working on downloading. Alright, so while that is in the works, you can see how he's going to be able to move with his joints, which, like I said, I put the groin thing in the wrong area, so he looks a little weird. But Yeah, check out this movement. Some pretty good movement here. And as soon as the file is downloading, we'll move on. But once you've played around with this some and you like what you're seeing, just go ahead and push X here. And then that's normally when you would download. Now let's see, he supposedly has downloaded on my other screen here. So I'm going to rename him Done, and I'm going to put him in that file that we like to play in. So here he is. He's this one right here. Make sure to name him something that you'll have no problem recognizing. And then at this point, you're going to open the Clip Studio Modeler. This is one of the hardest parts, in my opinion, until I learned how to do it. We're going to go into File, we're going to hit New, and we're going to hit the person one, because we're making a people. Alright, now when you see this, you can use this to zoom in and out, and you can use this to choose how you're seeing. So we're going to go over to the body, click body, and then click this button here. Now here we're going to go into our file, and we're going to hit Done, and Open. Now, even though you can't see him, that's okay, because if you go into View and hit Lighting, there he is. And, like, everything looks good here. He's on the right access point. Or that's why I call it, I don't know what its proper name is. And when you're, like, you see him, if you like what you see, go over to here, this little picture there, and it has this height at 225. I don't work off of centimeters. I work off of feet and inches because I am from the USA and that's just how I do things. So what I'll do is I'll go into Google and I'll type how many centimeters is 5'8", no, 5'7" inches. That's how tall this guy is. He's going to be 5'7" because that's what I want him to be. So 5'7" would actually be that right there. So I'm going to hit Enter. And now he is 5'7" in Clip Studio. So going to go back over to the body. Going to go down to this bone here, where it's a bone and a little like refresh button. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to hit OK. Now this part can be a little rough, because you need to move this and try and get it where it matches him. And just how I do it is, right now I have it under basically the left side of the ilm. That's what I'm going to remember. And then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click his head, his left hand, his right hand, his left foot, and his right foot. And then hit Next. Now don't worry about what it's showing here with the green until you hit the first thing. Now that's actually super close to what we want, the green matching up with the blue. It's really, really hard to get these perfect. So you can go back and keep moving that dial that I showed you until you have him perfect. But for me, I'm going to call this good enough and hit Complete. And yes, he is invisible again, but that's okay. Now, if you want, you can double click this and hang on. Let's do this better. Let's make him visible again. Now double click it. And now that you have this, you can turn him a little bit, you know, however you want to do it, and hit Complete. And that is now his picture. You can hit Use as a Complete Character. I honestly don't know what that does yet. I know it turns these on and off though. So now you're going to go to Register as New Material. I'm going to put him in this folder here because it needs organized, and I'm going to call him Joe. So we're going to push OK. Actually, it would have been better if I would have put tags. So let's register him as new material as Henry. Push Need Organized. And here you're going to put 3D and any other tags. I'm going to put Joe. I'm going to put Henry, because I called him both names and I would not remember later. But you tag whatever you want to search him as, and then hit done. Now, you can go into Clip Studio, open up your new piece of paper, or whatever you're working off of. I just call it paper. Your new project, and then click Needs Organized. Here we have both Joe and Henry, but if we couldn't find them, we could search them down here by using the keywords. At least Henry we could. Go and drag him over. Now when you first see him, you're going to see this and be like, oh man, that's not right. Just hit this little wrench on the left over here. Go into lighting, and you have to be in the 3D asset operations button here to make this work. I'm going to turn off shadows because I just don't want that there right now, and I'm going to apply the light source. And now I can see him. And once I've done that, I can go into ninja poses, or whatever poses you want to go into, and see how he has taken to them. See? I think he's taken pretty well to them. And you can still adjust him like any regular model, even more so or less so depending on the one you pick out. Go open that back up to change his light. So yeah, this is how you import models into Clip Studio. I hope this has been beneficial. Like I said, sometimes they don't work perfect, but if you play with them enough, you can get them there. I just didn't want this video to take too horribly long on y'all. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to help you out, but this is what I've learned so far. And yeah, if this was beneficial, please hit that like button, and if you find a need to, the sub button's pretty cool too, because anything I can't find videos on, or that they're just not as simple as I need them, I will learn how to do it if it's something I need for my webcomic process, and teach you guys the most simplest way I can find to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Peace.